Hello, and welcome to Moments in History. I'm Linda Shenton Matchett, author, speaker, and history geek. While researching my stories, I unearth tons of intriguing historical information that doesn't end up in my books. So I've created this channel so I can share these tidbits with you. Today, we're going to talk about mail order catalogs, the Amazon of the past. Mail order catalogs have been around a lot longer than I realized. The earliest known catalog was published in 1498 by Aldus Manutius of Venice, who published a catalog of books he was printing. A little more than 150 years later, the English gardener William Lucas published a seed catalog, which he mailed to his customers to inform them of his prices. Catalogs soon spread to the British American colonies, where Benjamin Franklin produced a catalog of scientific and academic books in 1744. In 1845, Tiffany Blue Book began as a way to highlight some of the world's most precious and rare stones, including diamonds acquired from the French and Spanish aristocracy. A revelation of its time, the book launch coincided with the first appearance of these incredible pieces on display in the U.S. and earned Tiffany founder Charles Louis Tiffany the nickname the King of Diamonds. The book continues to be published annually today. However, Tiffany's high-end catalog was not geared toward meeting the needs of the general population, over 60% of whom lived in rural areas. The custom was for most Americans to buy from local merchants or the occasional wandering peddler. Although mail order companies offered a wider variety of products and competitive prices, the company was a stranger. Mail order companies had to instill confidence that buying from a stranger was safe. For many rural consumers, mail order catalogs seemed very, very risky. After the Civil War, Aaron Montgomery Ward, recognize that name? Worked as a traveling salesman of dry goods. As time passed, he became concerned over the plight of many rural Midwest Americans who were, in his mind, being overcharged and underserved by many of the small-town retailers on whom they had to rely for their general merchandise. He decided to create a mail-order business and pitched the idea to his friends and business acquaintances who did not share his enthusiasm for the revolutionary idea. In fact, they thought his idea bordered on lunacy. Unfortunately, his first inventory was destroyed by the Great Fire of 1871, but Ward persevered. In August 1872, with 2 employees and a total capital of $1,600, he formed Montgomery Ward and Company. He rented a small shipping room and published a general merchandise mail order catalog that was actually a single sheet of 8 by 12 paper with 163 products listed. By purchasing goods and reselling them directly to consumers, he removed the middleman at the general store, and that enabled him to offer lower prices. Using the railroads centered in Chicago and associating his business with the nonprofit Grangers, he offered rural customers a far larger stock than generally available in small towns. However, unlike local country merchants, Ward offered no bargaining and no credit. His free catalog, printed by the most modern of methods, was widely mailed to customers, allowing them to see pictures of the consumer goods and imagining how they might be used. Within 2 decades, his single-page list of products grew to a 540-page illustrated book selling over 20,000 items. Later, Ward used the post office rural free delivery and successfully lobbied for a parcel post system that came about in 1906. In the early years of his catalog business, Ward and his employees answered customer letters personally. Such correspondence might seem quaint today, but those messages were a serious sales strategy. He also included photographs of his top executives in the catalog, as well as buyers for specific departments, so the customers would know from whom they were receiving the letters. Putting a name with a face and adding a touch of personal communication was a sales strategy that worked. In their return letters, employees offered congratulations for marriages, the arrival of a new baby, or condolences for the loss of a family member. These messages had meaning for many customers, and some even sent letters thanking the employees for their support. His business, however, was far from an overnight success. He dealt with failed business partnerships, strong opposition from store owners, and enormous difficulties shipping items. But his business model was a sound plan with a huge target audience. To help put the minds of the sometimes skeptical public at ease, he was an early adopter of the money-back guarantee that the catalogs of the time would become known for. He would soon, however, have competition from a small company out of Redwood Falls, Minnesota. Richard Warren Sears was a station agent for the Minneapolis and St. Louis Railway. In 1886, when Sears was only 23 years old, his station received a shipment of gold watches from Chicago, but the local consignee, jeweler Edward Stegerson, refused the unsolicited shipment. Apparently, there was a common scam at the time that involved wholesalers who would ship their products to retailers who had not ordered them. Upon refusal, the wholesaler would then offer the already price-hiked items to the retailer at a lower consignment cost in the guise of alleviating the cost of shipping the items back. The unsuspecting retailer would agree then to take this newfound bargain off the wholesaler's hands, mark up the items, and sell them to the public, making a small profit during the transaction. Stegerson, however, a retailer savvy to the scam, flatly refused the watches. Young Sears jumped at the opportunity and made an agreement with the wholesaler to keep any profit he reaped above $12, and then set about offering his wares to other station agents along the railroad line for $14. At the time, watches were considered an item of urban sophistication. Also, because of the growth of railways and the recent application of time zones, farmers and railroads both needed to keep accurate time, which had formerly been unnecessary. The watches sold in a flash. Within 6 months, Sears had netted $5,000 and felt so confident in this venture, he moved to Minneapolis and founded the R.W. Sears Watch Company. He began placing advertisements in farm publications and mailing flyers to potential clients. The following year, he began to sell the watches through mail-order catalogs. And in 1887, he hired watch repairman Alva Curtis Roebuck to repair any watches being returned. Roebuck was Sears' first employee, and 4 years later became the co-founder of Sears, Roebuck and Company. In 1893, the sales topped $400,000. 2 years later, they exceeded $750,000. By 1894, billing itself as the cheapest supply house on earth, or the Book of Bargains, the Sears catalog had grown to 322 pages and featured sewing machines, bicycles, sporting goods, ladies' clothing, silverware, plows, automobiles, and a host of other items. Chicago clothing manufacturer and Sears' brother-in-law, Julius Rosenwald, also became part owner in 1895. By the following year, dolls, refrigerators, stoves, and groceries had also been added to the catalog. Sears, Roebuck and Company soon developed a reputation for high-quality products and customer satisfaction. By then, the company was producing a 532-page catalog with the largest variety of items that anybody at the time could even imagine. Sears insisted his employee handwrite notes instead of using that newfangled typewriter, because some customers were offended to receive a letter that came from a machine. That sales strategy helped convince hesitant customers to place an order, but it also had a surprising side effect. Isolated and lonely customers enjoyed the personal correspondence and included with their order forms the type of personal letter that one might send to a pen pal. Customers gave updates on their lives and even explained why they hadn't ordered in a while. One farmer wrote to Mr. Ward detailing why he hadn't made a purchase since the previous fall catalog. "Well, the cow kicked my arm and broke it, and besides, my wife was sick, and then there was the doctor bill. But now, thank God, that is paid, and we are all well again, and we have a fine baby boy. And please send plush bonnet number 29D8077. Mail order catalogs changed the way that women and families consumed goods and maintained their homes while changing the American retail landscape. Today, the mail order catalog industry is worth approximately $100 billion, that's right with a B, and generates over $2 trillion in incremental sales. I hope you've enjoyed today's moment in history. If you'd like to learn even more history, please stop by my blog, which can be found at www.lindashentonmatchett.com. Consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell icon to receive notification of new episodes, which are generally uploaded on the second and fourth Friday of every month. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.